Biomechanics is the study of the structure and function of biological systems by means of the methods of mechanics. In sport, it is the sport science field that applies the laws of mechanics and physics to human performance in order to gain a greater understanding of performance in athletic events through modeling, simulation, and measurement. Basically, it is based on analyzing an athlete's movements in general and studying the reasons that athletes can move that way and also what prevents them from moving certain ways. This term in HPE, we have been participating in a course of rock climbing and applying biomechanical principles to our movements to understand why we are or are not performing to our maximum potential. Rock climbing is an activity which you climb up, down, or across natural rock formations or artificial rock walls. Like every sport, there is a goal, and in this situation, the goal is to reach the summit of a formation or the end point of a usually predefined route without falling. For this task, we must evaluate the efficiency of and draw conclusions about our use of effective rock climbing technique and justify our analysis using biomechanical principles. We must also make recommendations for our future improvement in this sport. The twist locking is when the climber twists their bodies side onto the wall, bringing their hip into the wall when climbing. This allows a greater reaching ability and brings your center of gravity closer to the wall. This stabilizes you and lets you rest. Center of gravity is the point where all your individual weights in your body, for example your arms, legs, etc., are symmetrical. If your center of gravity leaves your base of support, everything in contact with the ground within the outline of your contacting body parts, you will fall over and become unstable. This is the same in rock climbing. When you are climbing and your center of gravity goes outside your base of support, you will lose stability and your upper body will be taking most of the strain instead of your lower body, and you are likely to fall off. By twist locking, you are bringing your center of gravity back over your base of support, therefore taking the weight off your upper body and stabilizing you enough to make thought-out movements up the wall. In the following video, it would have been useful to use twist locking to be able to stabilize myself and be able to make the hold at the end of the climb. As I did not use this technique, it resulted in me falling off the wall. Smearing is a technique used when there is no hold for your foot to go on. Smearing is when you push your foot up against the wall to cause friction to make up for no hold being able for use. This technique will help you get past difficult situations on the wall and will help you get higher. The biomechanical principle that underpins this technique is force. Force can be loosely defined as a push or a pull, and it can speed up or slow down a moving object, or make a moving object stop or change its direction. The only time a force does not produce movement is when two equal forces of equal size act in opposite directions. When you push your foot into the wall, it causes friction, and with the end of your shoe allowing you to push up with your supporting leg in place of a hold. When climbing the pregnant lady wall, I must use smearing to get over the bump on the wall. It would be useful further up to use smearing to reach the top hold, as my height restricts me from being able to reach from the next hold from the top. I would need to put more force against the wall for my improvement of this technique. It is a common occurrence when rock climbing as our muscles get tired or fatigued, and we tend to then fall off the wall from relaxing or are too tired and don't think through our moves, then making easy mistakes. A technique that can help this is straight arms. Straight arms is basically exactly what its name is. It is using straight arms to climb. It takes the weight off our lower arms, which have weaker muscles, and puts it on our shoulders, which have larger muscles. By doing this, it also puts the weight onto our bones, which doesn't tire us out as much as working our muscles does. This allows our muscles to rest when climbing, as we aren't constantly straining our weaker muscles and tiring ourselves out quicker. The The biomechanical principle that underpins straight arms is force. When your internal force is on your forearms, it fatigues a lot quicker as to when the internal force is on your shoulders and bones. In this video, I use straight arms when climbing to be able to climb quicker and without fatiguing as quickly. Biomechanics in sport is a field of sports science that applies the laws of mechanics and physics so we can have a greater understanding of our performance in sports. I have found that over the term of rock climbing that I am insufficient in 3 techniques or situations: twist locking, smearing, and straight arms. These inefficiencies can be improved by applying the biomechanical principles and other techniques to our climbing. If we take on these recommendations in the future, we can work towards being more efficient and a better climber. Thank you.